Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Witch of Bees and Bones. I feel like I should apologize for being in this little dark pocket again. I'm not going to apologize. It is what it is. It's been very hectic. So I wanted to thank you all for your patience. I know that I did get an impromptu video out last week, right before Mother's Day, but I feel like I haven't kind of sat down purposefully with you folks in a while, and I appreciate your patience. I'm back on track. Mother's Day is in the rearview mirror. Praise be for a lot of reasons. So I can now continue with my commitment to get a video out every week. So this video is going to be just kind of a catch-up and what's been going on lately, and that's that. So last night, and admittedly I did not do a stellar job of promoting it. I did put it in my stories a couple times, but I was invited by Abby the Witch to be on a live stream on their channel, with witches talking about the left-hand path. And so there were a couple folks I knew and some new folks I didn't know that I've started to follow. And I love meeting people in the community. Many interesting things, but one of the cool things was that not everyone on the panel followed the left-hand path. So it was great to have open dialogue with other people who maybe practice differently or practice in a way that may look like the left-hand path, but they don't necessarily identify with, or that it may be moving to the left-hand path and what that means to us. So I'm going to link that video down below. And I think Abby is going to be doing other installments about other, having further conversations about witchcraft, left-hand path, people's practices, etc., etc. So keep an eye out for that. It was a good time. So it was myself, Abby, of course, it's her channel, Sanctuary Satanica, Vonnie from the Vonnieness, Jasmyne Ambrosia, who you probably already know. I love them. I love all of these people. It was so much fun last night, and it was great to get to know new people in the community. And Conjure Cutie, and then Cal from Ivy's Grove. And I'm going to link everybody's stuff, channel, and social media down below. So if any of these are new to you or something that you'd like to look into, please do. Great group of folks here. Secondly, I was gifted this beautiful deck, and I did post about it on social media. A person who follows my social media and watches this channel reached out to me about wanting to gift me this deck, because it wasn't really working for them. And I don't do any of this to get anything from any of you. I hope you all know that. I do this because I feel like I have something to share, and I also like to learn from other people. I never started this to get things from anyone. And so whenever anyone reaches out to me and asks for an address where they can send something to, and they send me something, a deck or a bundle of sage or what have you, it blows me away every time. So thank you. It is not necessary. It is not why I'm here. But I am so deeply grateful when folks feel a connection and want to share something with me. So thank you. But I felt like I needed to say that. So this is an oracle deck called the Old Ways Magick Oracle by excuse me, by Naomi Cornock. I've got some allergies, which is why my eyes are a little red and why I keep clearing my throat, so I apologize. I'm just grateful it's spring. So it's got the sweet spot for me. It's got everything I love kind of all right there. I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with this deck. It's not a deck I was familiar with, which means absolutely nothing. I get very stuck in my ways. So there's a jillion and 10 decks I have never heard or wasn't aware of. But I just, it is from, what are numbers? 2021. Excuse me. So it's not an old deck. I probably should have checked to see if it was still in print. If it is, I will link it down below, of course. But this deck is just, it's very special, and it's really beautiful, and we've been having some really nice conversations with each other, and I don't mind working for a deck. I don't mind, a deck which kind of gives me its insight slowly, like I have to earn it. I have no problem with that, but there's something really comforting about being able to take a deck out of the box or out of the package and opening it and looking at it and be like, yeah, oh, okay, yep, get it. And it's just there. And this is one of those decks for me. And full transparency, things have been a little rough. Not bad. My, things are actually really good in my life. My anxiety has been rather unpleasant. I'm trying some things to mitigate that with some success and some lack of success. So I'm safe. I'm okay. I don't want anyone to worry, but full transparency, my brain's a busy place. It's always been a busy place. But there's been this kind of anxious anxiety thing going on, even though things are good. So I have been eating really well and exercising and taking care of myself, and I'm seeing friends tomorrow that I haven't seen in quite a while. And by quite a while, I mean some of them I haven't seen in almost 30 years. They're college friends. Excuse me. So I'm looking really forward to that. So I'm doing well. My brain is a little spinny. So getting this deck and just being able to kind of sink into it and figure it out has been really lovely. So I just wanted to mention that. And I'm not going to go through the whole deck, but for those of you that aren't familiar with it, so this is knowledge. Oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. Fierce. And again, and I know I say it, but it's getting a little bit washed out. Illuminate. Even though they have white hair, there's something about them, and it might be the shagginess, and it might be the figures behind them, but it reminds me of Neil Gaiman's Sandman graphic novels. I'm not talking about the series that's, I think, on Netflix. Nothing against it, but I'm a purist, and those were really beautiful things to me, and the imagery is kind of like burned into my brain. So there's something very Sandman about this, and I love it, and I love Neil Gaiman. Clarity. Oh, so beautiful. Pathways. One of the things I love about these cards is I look at it and I'm like, oh, got it, okay. And I do have it, but then I continue to look at the card and into the card because there's so much imagery packed into every card. I keep saying card. Sorry. That it's good to get the knee-jerk initial reaction, but it's really lovely to kind of sit with it and figure it all out. So that's another piece of this. And it's just so intuitive, and it's so, you know, it has darker imagery, but it's nature-based. So that's Cleanse. Battle Ready. Very Morrigan. Very Lilith. The Depths. This this card, endure is a word that I use fairly frequently, and I just think that this depiction, the nest on her head and the bones and the skulls, excuse me, and the little creatures underground, it's so beautiful. Death, being a bone witch and a death witch and a nature witch, I think this card is absolutely exquisite. Oh, okay. Grief. So a lot of these cards have super, you know, darker imagery, and I mean darker in color and tone. And I love that this grief card, you can feel the depth of it and the severity of it, but you can also see the lightness of it. And I think that's really, really, really well done and very special. And then the card from the cover is Sacred Journey. And I'll just show you a couple more. Oh, this is a fun one. I'm not on TikTok because I feel like I'm too old for not. Let me rephrase that. I don't care how old you are. If you're on TikTok and it makes you happy, knock yourself out. To me, it seems like overstimulation at this point, and that I may not be the target audience. But occasionally, I'll see reels on Instagram that originally came from TikTok, which is a nice sweet spot for me. But a lot of the otters. So I love this playful. And I was at the New England Aquarium a few weeks ago with a friend who was visiting, and we saw all sorts of fun little creatures and seals and such, and they were having a grand time. Sovereignty. Yeah, so I don't know. I'd be interested to see who has this deck, and how they use it, and how, you know, what you think of it, or if you don't have this deck, if it seems like it would be appealing to you. I think it's really special. It's not overwhelming. I'm not exactly sure how many cards are in it. It doesn't say. It doesn't matter. It's a good size without being overwhelming. I think this would be a great clarifier. I haven't used it as such. I've just kind of been spending time with the cards, getting to know it. But it's really special, and I'm so grateful that that one of you sent it to me. That I get very overwhelmed by how generous you all are. And I don't mean like giving me things, but with your time and your comments and your subscriptions and your views of my videos and such. So I'm looking really forward to being back with you. I'm still have on the books a kind of Q&A about me or my life or my practice or anything that you may want to know about me. You know, ask what you will. If it's super personal and I don't want to answer it, I won't even answer it or bring it up. So, you know, just, you know, be respectful. But I would love to do that Q&A video, and I've got a bunch of stuff compiled. But if there's any, I know there's some new followers, so feel free to ask any questions you have. And that may be if it's not the next video for next week, it'll be the one after for the week after. And I hope you're well, and I hope you're all taking care of yourself. And as ever, I appreciate you, and please go do something beautiful for yourself. Look at something beautiful, smell something beautiful, taste something beautiful, and just soak it in and let it sustain you. And I will be back with you next week, and I will see you all soon. Thanks.